Finding ways of avoiding false starts. This is Tell It to Someone. First question is from Joe Freddy. Where did the giraffe fit in? And why are the ducks showing us the way forward? And do the elephants have it too easy? Those are three different questions. I'm going to answer them in the same question because I can. The giraffes fit in Africa, where the plants are taller and have tasty leaves upstairs, and they don't have to bend over. The ducks go forward if they feel like it. If there's food over there, or maybe a nice duck pond or something, or a lady duck for them to non-consensually, ducks. They're evil. And so if the way forward is towards evil, then yes. And the last one is, do elephants have it too easy? Well, that's not the last. That's just the last question from Joe Freddy. And the elephants have it too easy. Well, we keep on carving their teeth into billiard balls and test pieces. Well, that's what we used to do, and we don't do that anymore much, except in China, where they still do it and use it for certain medications. And well, even though it doesn't work, I don't blame them, because I've seen elephants at the zoo, and yes, the nose is really long, but there's other things that are really long too. That's all I'm saying. Next question, of course, could be from Serious Mind. What do we know and when do we know it? Well, if by we, we're meaning the first person plural, which is you and me, I don't know, because I don't know what you know. All I know is what I know. Well, I know some of the things that I know, but some of the other things that I know, I haven't forgotten it, but I have sort of subsumed the memory that I know it. So if I can recall the stuff that I know, then I know it, but I don't know that I know it until I'm reminded of the things that I know. Next question is from Jonathan Stern. Is this how it ends? Obviously not. It's the middle of the video. Somewhere down there. I don't know. But obviously not, because if it ended here, then I'd be giving a dovetail question and stuff. No, don't do that. Next question could be from Bugsy's Evil Deeds. How come I no see your videos lately? Well, I have been making videos, but you haven't been watching them because, well, actually you have been. You watched last week's one, because I know you watched last week's one, because that's the only place that you can actually make videos from for this week's the questions for this week's video. So you did watch this week's video. Last week's video, and if you can hear this, then you're watching this week's video. That's 2 videos for 2 weeks, so you have been watching my videos. So I don't know, blame YouTube. Next question, possibly from Canadian Atheist. Is there any hope for bell-bottoms coming back? Yes. Yes, bell-bottoms will come back if we want to, trip over on outdated modes of pants technology. I could do with some bell bottoms in that I don't know what use actual bell bottoms do have. They do take up a lot more fabric, and paisley. Well, actually I could do with some paisley. So if you've got any paisley bell bottoms that are, oh my god, I'm fat, in that sort of size, then I'll do it. I'll wear them. They'll come back. Next question is from David Pope. Can I ask you a question? Thanks. Yes, you can. You asked it, and it's sort of tripped over my train of thought, so I'm just going to answer the last question for the day, which is Herbie Vasawas. Your PM's a cockface. I'll take that as a true statement of fact. because it wasn't a question, I know, because there was no question mark, and it's an unquestionable statement. I mean, yes, my Prime Minister is a cockface, but so's yours, if it's Boris Johnson, because Boris Johnson's also a cockface, as well as Scott Morrison, if he's still in the Prime Minister's office by the time you see this, because, you know, he's having a little problems with everybody hates him for reasons, you know. Ardern isn't a cockface, and Trudeau isn't a cockface. He's hereditarily not a cockface, because his father before him wasn't a cockface, which is an improvement, because they did have Harper, who was, like, genetically cockface. He's like the... Actually, he's not as big as a cockface as the Australian or British Prime Minister. But then again, I haven't been to Canada. I've been to Japan. I don't know how much of a cockface Shinzo Abe is. I'd say that Trump was a cockface, but it's different. He's a unitary head of state and government at the same time. So I think the term for that is cunt weasel. I think, but because it's a unitary head of state and head of government at the same time, being the president, because there's no head of government that isn't. That's it for Tell Someone for this week. If you would like to ask me a question, then ask me a question down in the place where questions normally get asked. The dovetail question, as you might have seen before, is up there now in the place that it is. Well, it wasn't traditionally over there, it was over there, but now it's over there. That's also a thing that I ask you people, so you can give me things to talk about next week. Well, actually, it's not things to talk about this week, it's things to put over the footage of something completely almost irrelevant. Yeah. So, I'm dangerously talented, and I don't have a cool sign-off. That thing is bright, look.